Fox 5. Damn straight, man. Tomorrow night could be a good time, man. It could be a real good time. Got Bellator going on tonight. I'm going to run down that a little bit. Maybe a little, because I don't even know if the video will be on by the time Bellator's on, so. But, anyhow, man, I'm going to get to it. Biblically, if you want to say it properly. But, Abel Trujillo was going to take on Tim Means in his in Abel's UFC debut. Tim Means is being replaced by Marcus, and I'm going to botch this name, I know it, Levasseur. So that's my best attempt. But those two are going at it tomorrow night. Tim Means busted his ass. No, he was actually in the sauna, slipped, knocked himself out, and was out for a little while, and somebody found him or whatever. But any commission would say, no, yeah, it's not a good idea for you to fight. Which sucks, man. I mean, been looking forward to seeing Tim Means, you know what I mean? But to jump right on another fight I do like on the, kind of a weird fight too, but Dennis Seaver. I've been watching Dennis Seaver. I like him. I like his style. Him going on featherweight was a total shock to me, because I thought he's really short, but he was a really stocky 155er. So him going down in weight I thought was kind of surprising. But he's taking on Namfan. They're pretty close in records, which you can't always go by that, you know what I mean? Punch for punch, and stand up, I think it'd be a pretty good fight. It's really hard to say, man, because I mean it depends what Namfan's bringing, because I've seen some really good fights with Namfan. I've seen some not so good fights. But I can almost say the same thing for Seaver, you know what I mean? There's some fights where it's like, holy shit, man, he's really learning some shit, and this is a really good night for him, you know what I mean? It's a tough fight to call. I kind of lean towards a Dennis Seaver a little bit. I could see that going either way. Scott Jorgensen I like a lot, man. I've always liked him because he's a good tough stand and bang kid, man. Good tough guy. Taking on John Albert. John Albert is pretty impressive, but he's new. Jorgensen, I think, is still in the learning process, even though he's got a kind of impressive record, 13-6. I think he still has maybe some work in the boxing area. Overall striking. Just my opinion, man. Definitely some work to be done there. So hopefully him taking on John Albert should be pretty sweet, man. It should be pretty cool. Steve Edwards taking on Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens is a stand and bang, kick your friggin' ass kind of dude. Eve Edwards, a shit ton of experience, man. Holy shit, this guy's got experience. 60 plus fights in his career. He's 60 or 61. I think experience is going to take over, and Eve Edwards is going to be able to get this to the ground, kind of implement his game. That's if he doesn't outstrike him, or out counter him, I should say. You know what I mean? Because Jeremy Stephens he's pretty ruthless, but I think he showed a lot in the Cerrone fight. Cerrone was able to kind of toy with him, and that sucks. There's a lot of learning to be had. But I mean, Jeremy Stephens is no joke, man. He's no joke. He can take some punishment, and he will come for you. And I don't know, it should be a sweet fight, man, for sure. But I'm way in the area of Eve Edwards. Mike Swick taking on Matt Brown. This fight's really hard to call for me because I've been out of Matt Brown's corner for a long time until recently. He recently beat Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson made his debut. I don't even know what you call it. Perfect roundhouse kick. The guy didn't even see it coming. Flattened the guy in his debut, and then fought Matt Brown. I thought, you know what? Matt Brown's looked better recently and looked pretty good. I think he's coming off a three fight win streak, 3 or 4 fight win streak. I don't see him beating Stephen Thompson though. He took Stephen Thompson down, beat the shit out of him, beat the crap out of him, elbowed the living daylights out of him. I mean, Matt Brown kind of proved his warrior status, you know what I mean? And I don't want to give him too much credit because he's going in there with Mike Swick. Mike Swick's been out a long time, but he's been back, maybe 2 fights back. Jumping in there with Matt Brown, that's some pretty deep waters because you're going in against a really tough guy. So this could be a really good test for Swick to find out where Swick's at, his return and all that. So it's a really tough fight to call, man. I'm gonna go in the area of a Swick because if it's a Swick that we know from a couple years ago when he was in there kicking ass, doing really good, and Swickatine, you know what I mean? You guys remember that? That was sick, man. I mean, the guy was starting to get some star power, you know what I mean? Starting to really shine and look really good. Starting to get in the contender range, you know what I mean? Or at least close to it, you know? It's exciting to see what he's doing now, now that he's back, and I think this is a good test. It's going to say a lot if he can get past the gatekeeper in Matt Brown. Because I'm going to say Matt Brown's probably a gatekeeper right now. He's beating a lot of newbies, you know what I mean? He's beating a lot of he's beating some tough guys, man. I don't want to take nothing away from him, but right now, I mean, in top contention, Matt Brown's just not there. Swick, in order to get back into that area, top competition again, he's got to get past Matt Brown. He's just got to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is brought to you by Bud Light. Here's to you. Rory McDonald's been doing some trash talking. Hey, man, back to the days when BJ Penn was beating guys up and licking his gloves and all that shit. He was a trash talker too, man. So, and my buddy Justin on YouTube as well. Shout out to you, brother, from another mother. Brought it to light to me. Hey, man, because I'm like, Rory McDonald's kind of talking a lot of trash here. It kind of just makes it look stupid. You know what I mean? It's a little too much trash talk. The kid's tough. Kid's definitely an amazing prospect, beyond a prospect right now. I mean, the kid's really making a stink. A damn good shot at beating BJ Penn. So I just thought, does he really need to do this? Is it really necessary? And then Justin, like I said, Justin was saying, yeah, BJ Penn used to do the same shit all the time too. You know what I mean? So tit for tat. I mean, which is true, man. I mean, he used to do it, so maybe it's time for him to be on the end of. Maybe he needs some trash talk coming at him, you know what I mean? I am voting for Rory McDonald in this one. I don't think it's going to be an easy win by any means, because you look at the BJ Penn that fought Nick Diaz. Yeah, he lost that fight, you know what I mean? He chose to stand up with him, and I mean, like anything else, he was, obviously, when it was all over, he was a respectful BJ Penn, but was a pissed off BJ Penn going into it. I think he's even more pissed off in this fight. Pissed off BJ Penn, I think, is not a good BJ Penn, and I don't think it's good for him to go in there too pissed off, because he's gonna get pissy, start swinging, and create some openings. A guy like Rory McDonald's going to catch some of the openings. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion on it. I think Rory McDonald's going to go in there. Maybe in a sense, he's in a state right now where he doesn't have to give a BJ Penn all that much respect, and still goes in there and does his game. You know what I mean? How do we know? It's hard to say what kind of mindset these guys are in. You know what I mean? BJ Penn's already retired. He's coming out of retirement to face the challenge that Rory brought. So it's really tough to say, but BJ Penn, I think, will look good, because I think a lot of people, BJ's cut. He's not cut. He's not cut. Okay, he's not cut. I've seen pictures of him. Actually, a picture. He looks good, man. He looks better than his last fight, probably his last few fights, but he's not cut. BJ's always had a little bit of a midsection, but I think it keeps him grounded. Kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier's got a little weight in the middle, but I mean, it's one of them things that we know them kind of guys. It works to their advantage a little bit. BJ Penn's not a tall guy, so he's got that center of gravity. You know what I mean? To me, it makes sense, and he's been with it his whole career, same as Cormier. A guy like Cormier, but he's cut. No, he's not cut. But I mean, he looks a lot more trim than he did in his last few fights. I will say that he's more trim. For layman's terms, man, and I'm not ragging on the guy by any means. There's no look of a spare tire. I didn't see that at all. If we see it the night of the fight, it's because he must be overly hydrated or something. Making a cut and then, within the next day or whatever it is, hydrating the shit out of yourself to get yourself back in performance condition. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys are cutting weight like friggin' crazy. A lot of them are anyway. Gone way too long with this fight. Rory McDonald, I think, I'm going to leave that one alone, man. I call it Rory McDonald. BJ Penn's going to have to pull out all stops, in the third. Dig deep, you know what I mean? Because Rory McDonald's awesome condition. He's not going to be slow in the third, man. It's for damn sure. So, but I think a lot of what BJ Penn will bring, Rory McDonald will have the answer for. And I think it's just going to be a rough time for BJ Penn. 2 losses in a row. Maybe he'll retire again. Who knows? You never know, man. We could see a friggin' shocker come in here, school this fucking kid. I doubt it. I don't see it happening. But you never know, man. I mean, we've seen it from Penn before. Like I said, man, I'm voting for Rory, and this is one fight that I can't touch. Who's going to win what and how they're going to win it. I can't even touch it. Same with this one here. This next one, Mauricio Shogun, who Alexander Gustafsson. I'm saying Gustafsson by decision. That's what I'm thinking, man. Shogun's going to start gassing out late in the second, probably mostly in the third. He'll probably be pretty fresh through the second. Gustafsson can go 5. Gustafsson, kick-ass striker. Kick-ass striker. And Shogun, man, I mean, he's a warrior, obviously, man, a badass in pride. Been in the game a long time. his experience could weigh in, but I mean, he doesn't have that much experience over Gustafsson. So I mean, it's. I think Shogun is kind of starting to top out. Probably be a little beyond topping out. We're not going to see, the Shogun of the past. We're not going to see that. I think we're going to see Alexander taking advantage of some holes in the game. He's a newer, fresher fighter. And Shogun over the years, man, we've seen him in some drag out wars. His fight with Henderson, which was recently, just an all-out war, you know what I mean? And then if you want to take it back to the Pride days, he's had some all-out wars, that he's won and some he's lost. I mean, Shogun's, career-wise, amazing fights, man, amazing fights. I don't think he's going to win this one. I think it's just going to be a new dimension and where light heavyweight division's going. It's kind of one of them defining fights, I think, kind of like in the last video I mentioned the Struve and Hunt fight. It's going to kind of define where the heavyweight division's going, you know what I mean? We're getting down to the main event here. Ben Henderson taking on Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, when taking out Cerrone, I thought it was going to be a lot closer of a fight. Nate Diaz really opened my eyes, you know what I mean, to him and Nick's boxing ability. I mean, I've always known about Nick, and I've always known about Nate as well. I mean, a whole new respect, I should say, really, man, a whole new respect. I thought Nate Diaz would have had a tougher time with Donald Cerrone, and it was just, in terms of boxing and keeping your distance and keeping somebody at bay with the jab, it was just a wow. Wow. I think it was a wow for Cerrone too, man. I mean, big time. With that in mind, I think that's really going to be tough for Ben Henderson. Nate Diaz got good takedown defense. If you get him down, you could still be in some serious trouble. Ben Henderson has learned a ton since the WEC days. He lost to, I don't think, his last WEC fight was a loss to Anthony Pettis. Close, sick fight, man. Great fight. But we're seeing a different Ben Henderson, today than we were then. And he had a couple battles with Cerrone. The first one was a good battle. I thought Cerrone did enough to take it, but the second fight was I mean, hands down, Ben Henderson got it, you know what I mean, with Cerrone, what I'm saying. But I thought the Henderson Edgar fight was pretty damn close, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a lot of MMA math, you know what I mean? That shit just don't work, you know what I mean? I mean, you can't really say much. I think Nate Diaz is gonna, I think he's gonna get a decision, to be honest with you. Ben Henderson could surprise me again. I mean, I think we're seeing a really, really knowledged. He's in a good place, in his head. You know what I mean? I think he's starting to really get a lot of respect for a lot of other fighters rather than talk shit, and like he's done in the past. I think he's starting to really get a lot of respect for fighters. He's starting to train accordingly, and I think it's going to be a very close fight. But I think I'm gonna say Nate Diaz by decision. This is one of those 50-50 fights. I can't even call it, but like I said, man, if I had to choose a winner, it would be Nate Diaz. Gonna be a cool night overall, though, man. Anyway, man, hope you guys liked the video. So I will see you guys in a couple days, man. Sub, comment, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks. See ya.